we're gonna split this talk up in two parts. I'm just, because we were working with the workshop, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the workshop that we are doing, that we have been doing, and how it started actually, and what we did this weekend. So I'm gonna tell you a little bit about playtime. It was actually when we started 2008, 2009, teaching at the architecture school, both in Iceland and Denmark. We really wanted to design our own studio or workshop. We wanted to design a workshop. We started working with first year students and second year students and third year students. And what we actually wanted to do was to focus really about, get them to focus on the ideas behind the architecture, the concepts and the methods that they're using, and the process. So, and at the same time as we were doing this, at the same time, this is from the architecture school. Some of the models I made at the workshop, I'm going to explain it a little bit more. At the same time as we were thinking about this workshop, we met a really nice guy from Lego. Actually, a department at Lego is called the Lego Concept Lab, and they just handed us some boxes of Lego and told us, because they were trying to figure out new ways of using the basic Lego brick. And they just wanted us to play a little bit. And so we connected it, and we actually connected to another project that we were doing, a grammar school in Denmark. And we had to do a workshop with the kids, the parents, and the teachers. So we thought, okay, it was a nice opportunity, so we did a workshop with all these people, and really the communication was fantastic. Everybody just fell into thinking about architecture and telling them what they wanted and what they needed. So we thought that this is a great media to use for architecture. Therefore we thought, okay, for the workshop we wanted them, the students, to work with models from day one. Take away the pens, the computers, the environment that they are used to on a daily basis. We want to just remove it, to actually get them away from what they're used to. So we thought it would be nice to use the Lego brick for the workshop. And I'm trying to be really high-tech here, but nothing is working. Sorry about that. Here we go. Sorry. So this is just a small video showing you how we built up the workshop. So we talked to Lego, and they sponsored us with 65 kilos of Lego bricks. We use 5 different colors, like pink, green, yellow, orange, blue, and so we divide them into 5 groups. And what it's actually about is, for the first day, they have really, simple tasks. So they're just working with basic methods and basic concepts in architecture, and making a lot of models. So it's really also about pressing them with time. So they're making a series of models. The next day, then after that, we have a critic session. We'll go through the whole thing, and these are for the, working with organic forms in Legos. So it actually, the restriction of the Lego brick, because it's a square thing, it's quite funny to work with organic or dynamic forms in architecture. And so we do this in one day. There are a lot of models, and then the next day we actually take the model and we scale them up. So we explode them up in scale, and they make a huge models. And this is really abstract. They're just working with the basic concepts and basic ideas. And what's good about this is because it's a Lego brick, it's a toy, they actually start playing with architecture automatically. So the creativity actually gets a boost, which we wanted to do, and we also get them to focus on the conceptual ideas behind the architecture and the strategies. Then when we move further on, we put in more projects like themes for the like in this project, we were working with the utopia cities. So they were making like this a plug-in city, really nice cubicles on a staircase without stairs. So it was a zero gravity staircase. You just jump up and fly to your apartment. So the creativity gets out of hand almost, and that's what we actually like. We want them to play a lot with the architecture in these workshops. So we then the next year after we started this workshop, we participated in there's a design festival in Reykjavik in March each year called Design March, and we're gonna present one project from the office, and we thought it would be a nice way to just show the public what we were doing with the architecture students, because it was a lot of fun. So we made an active, not an interactive, but this one is an interactive exhibition that we did. So we took videos from the workshop, we played them by projectors on the floors, which explained all the concept, the process, and showed the work of the students. Then we took a lot of the models from the students. We actually just displayed them on a huge table, where we then just covered the tables in Legos, and they just automatically, everybody stepped into the room, started making really interesting cityscape. You didn't have to tell them anything, they just started. Both children and the parents. Actually, the parents were the one was really difficult to get out of the room, because they were having so much fun. So they completely forgot them, got lost in this Lego paradise. The nice thing about it, but it was really a nice atmosphere at the exhibition. The exhibition actually got a prize for the best atmosphere and the best exhibition at Design Mars this year. All the children, they took our, tribal, we had these huge letters with the KRADS playdown. Everything was just played with, everything in the room. Really a nice atmosphere. So at that Design Mart, this is the final result. After 2 days, we had 3,000 people come. It's 1% of the nation, so it's a lot of people actually. So this is the final cityscape after the exhibition. And at the exhibition, we met with Vinnie Maas, which I've been working for some years before, and he actually liked it, so he wanted to take it up to the next level. So we went with him the year after to the Y Factory, which is his department at the Delft University, the architecture department. So he has his own factory, a laboratory for architecture. Sorry, I'm completely melting here, like an ice cube. No, I know how an ice cube feels. But so we took it to the next level, and went to a masterclass students. We had a masterclass workshop for 6 months, and that was a really nice opportunity, because then it was quite simple before, and now it got a lot of depth, and we went into much more research. So in this case, we are studying the landmark of the skyscraper. So we took one of the Twin Towers from New York as an example, and we wanted to find out and figure out, because in Europe you have a lot of social space, so we wanted to open up the tower. So we called it Open the Tower. So it's just about how can you use the same material, have the same mass, but open up the structure. So we made a whole series of 767 models in 1 to 100. So it's about this size. Sorry? 1 to 1,000. I'm sorry. 1 to 1,000 scale. So we did this we always do it in almost like a grid, so it's split it into groups, and each row has a percentage of from being completely closed volume to 10% closed volume or more open, and then they have different themes. So they get a lot of this is a mass research, it's a mass structure. so you can compare them and get the best one out of it. Kristja, now you have to help me. Lost the connection? Yeah, I think it's better. It's not working. So yeah, there a huge study of these different towers. And if you just take the next one, and the next one, and just the next one. You can then see like a morphed together, you know, for each different theme, how it actually represent the difference of test. So this was a lot of fun, and a lot of fun working with the Y Factory and the students there. And from this is basically we also we built this like a workshop we did before. So we do a research there with really few parameters. So we do a whole lot of models, and then we scale it up. So after this example, you know, just take the next one. We choose the best ones, the ones with the biggest potential. You know, we actually had like a beauty contest. So after arguing, you know, and about which one they thought that was the best, we had like an election and chosen the best one. Then they have to scale it up, but while they're scaling them up, they always have to develop them further and make them better. And then we also like to do a little twist, so we like to take the people who are working with this model and have to make it bigger, so we switch them. So you're not working with your own model, you're actually working, so you can be much more critical about the work that you actually handed in, and develop it even further, and come up with some new ideas. And what is actually great about all this process is the collaboration of students. So they actually open up and they have to work in a team. We actually force them to work as a team all the time. They have to be able to argument for what they're doing, and they have to talk to each other all the time, and they actually have to build like one big machine while they're building up these huge models. So they really have to be organized and structured their whole work. So just some few pictures from the models, and this actually went on an exhibition. We'll take the next one to the Venice Biennale, and also Hong Kong Design Week, I think, in 2012. And then from this one, we went to just another venue in Helsinki Design Week. There we got students from the architecture school of, it's called Aalto University in Helsinki. We got 15 students to come and play with us. It was actually just an exhibition. So we made, this is not an interactive exhibition, but an active exhibition. So we actually put the students on display while they were working. So they were actually exhibited during the workshop. So the same matter, we were also, you know, interested in how to open up the tower, and how to make the cities more, interact more with the towers, because the tower is mostly just a big landmark. It doesn't give anything away to the city. So we want to get more greenery and more openness, you know, get more porosity into the towers. We structured it in the same way, different parameters and different themes. And then we just laid out the exact amount of bricks into bags, and they started, you know, with the whole grid was just bags, and they actually made this in 5 days. It was a great way. Actually, you know, looking back, when we set up all the bags, you know, actually looked like a whole lot of condoms just lying on the floor. But we just didn't mention it to anybody, so and nobody mentioned it to us, so we just kept on the fun work. And we're going to show you a small video. We also made a series of how they worked with this. This was so short time. The Delft studio was for 6 months. This was 5 days, so it was quite neat. But they could come up with it in a short time. But of course, when we started also working with Lego on this, because they, like in Delft, Lego actually sponsored us with 1.3 million bricks, I think, all in white. It was a big request. So just called them up, could you give us 1.3 million bricks to play with? And they just said yes. we thought they would never agree on that, but and 200,000 for this. So they were, of course, they were interested because they were following us during the workshop and seeing what we were doing. And they actually told us, we've never seen people talking about, something that they are creating with the Legos in this way before, because they always have something they are building, either technical or something that they're, already you have a manual on how to build. So they saw, people just creating and really arguing and having discussions about, really nice dialogues about the thing. So in the end, they came up with a product that we helped them developing. We helped them. We were like creative editors or concept editors on the project, and that's actually we were quite proud of it. Lego made a toolkit for architects called Architecture Studio, which is there's no manual in it for what you have to build, so it's without a manual. I think this is the first product, if you don't count the basic bricks. But there's a big book where we actually traveled around the world and made a small workshop with different kinds of different architects, like Matt in China, and it's a book with inspiration, and also discussions with architects, what they think about it and what on their work, so in general. So this just was launched in last year in USA, and now it's in Europe at the Biennale in London, like last month I think. So it's coming around the world now. So, and in the end, we just want to show you a bit from the living city, because from working with the skyscrapers, we had also the opportunity to work with something that is close to us, and that's making the city better, making a better city for the people living here, and we wanted to rethink urban parking areas. So that's basically because in Iceland we are working with this at the moment. Chris is gonna show you the project that we are working with that problem right now. So it's given that the privately owned car will gradually give way for new modes of transportation. And it's just trying to figure out how can we hopefully superfluous parking areas be utilized to create more varied, denser and greener cities. So what we actually are doing, how can we take the parking spaces which are gray areas and build on them, and also include parking and making it greener instead of taking over more and more greener areas in the city. And therefore making the city denser and less use of need for a car, because you can get everything, it's just in the next street. So we give the students 3 parking types, A, B and C, and really a few parameters. Just footprint size was a maximum, you had to fill out maximum 35% or 70%. There was a maximum you could fill with buildings on the ground floor. On top floor, there was a minimum of open pixels, which is the urban area or public area or semi-public area. So they just got a sticker like this. You have type A, 35% maximum footprint and minimum 20% open pixels. And they only had 2 days, so it was really intense. So we just started like we did before on really 1 to 100 Lego scale, and they made 10 models per group, 5 groups, and from there, if you just take the next one, we took it to 1 to 200, so it was twice the size, so we end up with really big models. And then they have to take the concept from the models they've chosen from the day before, and they have to make it better. They have to really get the concept of and the idea through, and again make a bigger model and really get the details into it. And at the same time, we of course switched the groups. So there was a small twist in the whole thing. There's a surprise element. It always works. Gets people both insecure, but they can also be really critical about the thing that they actually get. And they also want to make it much better than it is. So it's a really nice touch. So this is just some few clips from the last day. Then the exhibition opened yesterday. It was fantastic to see all the models. So the models are going to be slowly taken to pieces, and they're going to build a cityscape. in the middle of the exhibition room. So it's really, really nice.